What up, witches? I have been gone for quite some time now, but we're gonna change that. I know I say that every freaking time, but this time I'm serious. So I wanted to do just a quick little like view on all of my witchy type books. Some of them people might consider witchy, some of them people might not, but you know what? I consider them witchy. They're my witchy book collection. It is what it is. My collection is, I don't think it's large. I think it's moderate. I don't know. I don't know what people would consider it. It takes up at least one shelf in my bookcase. I'm going to say moderate. It's not like I have like all my bookshelves are full of witchy books. So, you know, moderate. But anyways, let's get into it. Some of these I've already done reviews for, so you've seen them. But you know what? I'm going to put them in there anyways. So the first one is Gemstones and Colors. And this is by Marie Williams Cornelio. And this is for better healing, happiness, and health. I think I said that backwards. Either way, this is just about like the colors that we wear, the healing properties of colors, the different properties of colors, the things that colors can do for you, and like gemstones and crystals and what their properties are. Not that I've read it. This is one that I haven't gotten around to yet, but I have skimmed it, and it seems like it'd be like a really super easy read based on what the text looks like, and it's just straight to the point book. And I got this one from my local used bookstore. This one is Culpepper's Color Herbal, and this is just an herbal book like this. And I use this as a reference book for my, oh my gosh, my book of shadows. So when I need to look up references, when I need to look up herb references, this is one of the books that I go to because it has lots of information. I also like that it's an older book, so it's nice to see what information differs from the newer ones. So I do like that. And this one I got from Thrift Books, which is a used book website. This one is actually not my book. This is my cousin's book, but he gave it to me and I never gave it back. And at this point, it's basically mine. So this one is African Holistic Health. And this is just jam-packed with like so much information. Anything holistically that you want help with, this is the book for you. There's so much information in this. Like, honestly, you can find information on everything. This is another one that I go to when I need like reference help, like with my Book of Shadows. This has some herbs in here as well, so it's a good one to go to. This one was actually a gift, and this was a gift from my mother, and she got it on my wish list, I think for my birthday this year. This is like the prettiest herbiary I have ever seen in my entire life. Like the artwork in here, like look at this. Every page is perfection. So this is just like an herbiary. As the cover says, it's very pretty, very shiny. It's a nice book to have in my collection. This is another one that I go to when I need information on herbs. And this is honestly what I dream my Book of Shadows would look like. Like, look at this. Look at this. So pretty. And then in the back, it comes with these like herb oracle cards. So there's a set of 36 back there, and this is by Maya Toll. So this is the illustrated herbiary. This next one is The Door to Witchcraft, a new witch's guide to history, traditions, and modern day spells. And this is by Tanya A. Brown. This one is another one that is just like absolutely full of so much great information. I've skimmed it. I haven't read the whole thing yet because I do want to do a review on this one. I do want to read it front to back and do a complete review on it. If you want to see, the cover art is very nice. I like to read these beginner type books because I think they have a large, like a wide array of information that if you feel like one of them connects with you, you can then delve more into that specific part that you like. So I like these because they give you a nice array of information. And this one was another gift from my coworker from my Amazon wish list. This one is Dantan, Your Secret Energy Center by Christopher Markert. This one I got from my local used bookstore, and this is kind of like one of those books where it's something that a lot of people like. It's one of those, I'm trying to explain it correctly. It's one of those things where it's something that goes by different names depending on which culture you're in. So I like to read different things. So I'm gonna read this one. I got into it a little bit, but I never finished it. So I would like to finish it and see what else is in it. I need to start from the beginning though, because it was a while ago that I read it and I forgot all the information. But I am gonna reread it again. Oh, what a surprise! Another herbal book. This is another one from my local used bookstore, and this one is Herbal Healing by Michael Hallowell. And this one is just about healing. I knew there were pictures. There it is. Okay, so this one is just about healing with the herbs. And this is another one that I go back to for references and for my Book of Shadows. This is a good book to have because, like I said, it's nice to cross-reference information. And plus, not every book has all the herbs that you want. So one that you find in this book, you might not find in another one. So it's always good to have multiple herb books. This is another one from my local used bookstore, and this is Chihiro's Language of the Hand. I've always been very, very interested in palmistry, handwriting, and whatnot, and so I wanted to get a book on it. Not that I want to read anyone else's palms. I just kind of want to look at my own, you know. So just a quick skim. I have not read this one yet. I have not even like read one page of it yet, but it's in my list and I'm gonna read it. Next one, I'm not sure if people will classify as witchy or not, but I do. So this is an analysis of your handwriting. And I feel like this goes on like learning more about yourself, more about your own spiritual journey, more about, you know, self enlightenment, I guess is the word I'm looking for, you know, just learning more about yourself. And this is one of the ways to do it. Analyze your own handwriting. I'm excited to do this. I haven't analyzed mine yet, but I want to know what my handwriting says about me. It's like examples of handwriting. So you can see, so I guess you go the one that matches yours. I'm excited for this one. All right, and the next book is Healing the Child Within, and this is by Charles Whitfield, MD. And I think this is another one that goes on like the spiritual journey, learning about yourself and how the way you're raised affect the way that you know, treat other people and your everyday thoughts and things like that. So I think this is another good one to have. And even though people might not consider it witchy exactly, I still think it goes within the category because I feel like this goes in the like spiritual journey and learning more about yourself and why you do the things that you do, because that's important. This is another one I got from my local used bookstore. If you have a local used bookstore, you should go to one. I'm lucky enough that I have one nearby, but not everyone will have one. But if you do, check that out because you will find some gems. The next one is one that I have shown on here before because I have done a review for it, and it is Root Work, Using the Folk Magic of Black America for Love, Money, and Success. And this is by Tayana Lee McQuiller. And it says exactly what it says. It's about root work. And I feel like this is a good beginner root work book. But like I said, if you've seen my eclectic solitary witch whole thing, then you know that I just like getting information from pretty much everywhere. And when you're eclectic and solitary, you kind of have to like find your own path. And basically you have to do all the work to get all the information that you need. So you really have to like dig around and find what works for you. So I like this one. I just like knowing things. Nosy. This is another one that I've done, and this is the Book of Forbidden Knowledge, Black Magic, Superstition, Charms, and Divination. It was by Johnson Smith, and the new edition was in 2016. This was one where the language was a little bit like convoluted or whatever, but it's thin and it was entertaining, and I would never call it the Book of Forbidden Knowledge, but there was some information in there that I enjoyed. So this one I also did a review on, and this language in this book, this was the one where the language was like, what? But yeah, I had a fun time reading it. So this one I did read, and this is just basically what each tarot card means. So this is like a reference book that you would go back to if you need to figure out what, you know, like if you're just starting out and you're just starting the tarot and you need to know what things mean specifically, then this would be the book for you. But even though I'm not super into tarot, I do like to gather all the information. So this is in my collection. And this one I also got from my local used bookstore. Oh, I forgot, these two are Amazon buys for me. So I bought both these from Amazon. This is another used bookstore, and this is another one that I say goes on like the path of self journey and finding out who you are and enlightenment in your spiritual journey and all that. So this is Empowering the Sensitive Soul, Simple Wisdom to Improve Your Health, Cultivate Self-Acceptance, and Let Go of What's Holding You Back. And this is by Christy J. Rosen. This is another one from my local used bookstore. And the reason why I got this one specifically is because I do consider myself an HSP, which is highly sensitive person. So I got this. And I'm going to put it in the witchy collection. So people might not think it belongs. I do. It's going in the witchy collection. This is another one from the local used bookstore. And this is People Reading, How We Control Others, How They Control Us. And honestly, if I'm being honest, the reason why I kept this book, or the reason why I bought this book, is because I pulled it out of the shelf at my bookstore, and literally at the bottom it says keep this book, like someone wrote this on there. And so I pulled it out, I read that, and I was like, okay. So I haven't read it yet, and I will get to it though. I haven't read it yet, and there are some things that are like underlined in here already. There's some like notes from the previous owner, but I'm interested to see what they thought was valid enough to underline. I like seeing what other people thought of things, and the book told me to keep it, so I did. Okay, this one is Clearing Crystal Consciousness, and this is all about crystals, consciousness, and healing, and things like that. I haven't read it in full yet. I have skimmed it. This is another used bookstore one, so there are sections that are like fully highlighted and things, and I'm interested to know what other people thought was good enough to highlight, because there's quite a bit of it you can see. So that's always fun. Like I said, this was a local used bookstore one, and I saw it and I thought it was good, and I saw the underlines and I was like, sure, why not? I'm gonna add it to my collection. I haven't read this one yet. I've just skimmed it, so yeah, interested to know what's going on in this. This one is Modern Witchcraft and Magic for Beginners, a guide to traditional and contemporary paths with magical techniques for the beginner witch. And this is by Lisa Chamberlain. And I did a whole review on this one. So yeah, we're not going to get into all the specifics of it. But this is another beginner one book. And I like these because, like I said, it goes over a lot of information. And you're able to like pick and choose which ones pertain to you, which ones don't. And then you can like delve deeper into that specific topic. And this one I got from Amazon. This is another one that I feel like goes on spiritual journeys and self-enlightenment and like figuring out more about yourself. And this one is Personality Plus, How to Understand Others by Understanding Yourself. And this is by Florence Litter. I don't know. Anyways, it's by Florence. This is another local used bookstore one. And I don't know, I think it'd be interesting to delve deeper and figure out more about yourself. That's always fun to see what things correlate with you and which ones don't. So I'm interested to read this one. I haven't even skimmed this one yet, but I'm going to. All right, this next one is Creative Visualization, or Practical Guide to Creative Visualization, Proven Techniques to Shape Your Destiny. And this is by Denning and Phillips. So 2 people wrote this one. And this is basically like a guide, if you will, to creative visualization, which also goes under the name manifesting, which also goes under the name law of attraction. So, you know, all of that. Everyone's always like, manifest this in your life, speak it into existence, see it into existence. But no one ever tells you how. So I got the book for you. This was another local used bookstore find. This I got at Five Below, and that's that store that like sells things for $5 and less. And I was very surprised that they had a crystal book there. I was very excited about it. I like the way this one looks because the pictures are very large. It's very easy to like differentiate the crystals. So if you have a particular crystal that you need to find, it'd be easy because the pictures are like super large. Also, you can never have too many crystal books, honestly, like because not one book is gonna have every crystal in it. Like there's so many. So this is a good book to have. It's always good to have crystal books for reference. So this is like a reference book, so it's not one that you like read, I guess. I guess technically you can't just read through the whole thing, but I consider this more as a reference book. The next one is What the F is Tarot and How Do I Do It by Barbara Wintner. And this one I got off of Amazon. No, my mother got this off Amazon, off my wish list for me. And this is just a very hefty, because that writing is small, a very hefty just how-to guide on tarot, and I've skimmed it. I haven't read it yet, so I'm interested to read it front to back. And this is another one I wanted to do a review on, but this book is hefty, and me and my sister have this other book reading challenge that we're doing, so I'm going to try to get through all of these this year. I would like to read all of these this year because I keep buying more and not reading the ones that I already have. This next one is The Voice of Silence. This is chosen fragments from Book of the Golden Receipts, and this is by HPB. And I've always wanted to read one of her books because she's always listed in like the esoteric like book lists, and like I always see her face in them, and I'm like, I want to read one of her books, but I'm not sure if it's like very convoluted language and stuff where I have to pick up a dictionary to understand what the heck she's talking about. So I decided to get this little thin one just to give me a taste to see if I want to read more of her books, to see her style. So we'll see. I haven't read it yet. I haven't even skimmed it yet, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see what's inside of here. We've all seen this one, the Gobeleon. I've started it twice, didn't finish it twice, but I'm gonna finish it. So this is the Gobeleon. It actually doesn't have an author on this because I think this is just supposed to be like an interpretation of the information that's been passed down, but it doesn't tell who wrote this one. Oh, no, it just says Minerva Publishing. This edition is published in 1908. Yeah, so the Gobeleon is all about hermetic knowledge and all of that, and I want to get into it, but every time I try, for some reason I can't finish it, but I'm going to finish it this year. This stack is going to be done this year. The next one is another local used bookstore find, and this is Developing Your Psychic Abilities to Work With You in Your Everyday Life. This is by Whitney Burns. And it basically is what it says on the cover. This is an older one, smaller writing, but I am still going to read it. Yeah, that's basically it. It says what it is on the cover. Not that I'm necessarily trying to like do this, but like I said, I like to collect information and books like this. So I'm going to read it, get into it, figure out what it's all about, see if it's worth it or not, because some of these are full of fluff, but we'll see. The next one is The Witch's Book of Self-Care, Magical Ways to Pamper, Soothing Care for Your Body and Spirit. And this is by Erin Murphy Hiscock. Erin Murphy, and this is the one I wrote. Stop it. Stop it. This is the lady that wrote that really famous The Green Witch book that everyone loves. So I have not read that one yet. It's not even in my collection. So this is what it looks like. It's very pretty. This is more of a book that I feel like you can like bounce around through, and it's not really one that you read front to back. It's more like a reference book, things that you can do throughout your day, things like that. I have skimmed it. I have read some of them. I haven't read it front to back, but I don't think it's supposed to be read front to back necessarily. I think you're supposed to find what works for you. And this last one is one that my cousin actually gave me. She found this in a local used bookstore, and then she sent it to me because I guess she was done with it and thought that I would enjoy it. So this is a Treasury of Witchcraft, and this looks like it's jammed packed with information. So I cannot wait to get into this one. Like all the pictures, like I'm excited. I'm so excited to read this. Oh my gosh. I love these old ones. These are always fun. Yeah. Lovely, eh? And this is a thick one, but I do want to read this one in full and do a review for this one as well. So we'll see if I get around to that. I am planning on doing all these books this year, though. They're on my list to get read this year. And that's basically all the books that I have that I consider witchy. There's some other ones that might be considered in there as well, but I don't know. The line gets kind of blurred. So this is all I'm going to have for now. And that's all. Bye.